Guys, we've been wanting to do what we're about to do for like 2 weeks now, and we just haven't because I'm moving. People got places to go,
Yeah,
uh, other things to talk about.
I
But
had to
we're
go take
going
my dog
to.
on a ridiculous hike yesterday,
She looked like a princess
dude. And it
in
was
the one
funny.
picture I
So
saw.
yeah, and it's funny because she's like 12 years old, and she actually we only took her. We didn't take the other two dogs, and she was actually kind of excited to go on the hike. She's walking around. And then her legs gave out and she fell in the mud. And then she turned around, looked at Lexi, and was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And walked up to her and she's like, okay, you can carry me the rest of the way.
Good for her.
Yeah. And that's what happened.
Right on. Well, we're going to go over some names that we think should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Because ever since Stephanie got uh told that she was going to go in. We've kind of just been wondering who else is going to be in this class. Um, it's going to be a damn travesty when TKO fires every McMahon and Helmsley left in the company and Shane McMahon does not get inducted.
Dude, did you see the rumor? And I know we're in insider knowledge here. We're recording this as this terrible episode of Monday Night Raw is going on.
I didn't even
Which
turn it
is
on.
yeah, it's absolutely horrible. It's horrific. Um, but there's rumors that Shane McMahon is back on the active roster of WWE.
Active?
Yeah,
Was he at the PC or something?
he's I don't know, maybe he's John Cena's last opponent. Um,
God.
yeah. It's like I'm you're
You
not gonna
think
face
Shane
the man
McMahon
that
goes?
made you, but you can face his son.
What did Vince? This is gonna probably. I'm glad that we're this deep into the episode because it would have got blocked in the beginning. But what did Vince McMahon call his children in the ruthless aggression era? Do you remember?
Uh-uh.
A product of his semen.
Oh,
A product of
yeah.
my semen.
Coming from the his great loins.
Hey pal. Okay.
um,
Do you think Shane's going in the Hall of Fame?
no.
Does he deserve it?
Uh, Honestly, yeah, I do think so.
I think he
I don't
deserves it.
know if I listen. I don't think that. Well, I listen. I don't. As much as Stephanie has done for the WWE, I think that there were so many other first bound, like first name ballot Hall of Famers that you could have picked. And I don't think they would have announced her so early unless she was like the go, like unless she was planning on being the go-to Hall of Fame person for this year, like the box office name that will headline. Um,
I haven't even thought about this regarding Stephanie. I feel like there's an obvious answer, but there's also a second could happen, and if it did happen, it would be just as obvious answer. I think Triple H inducts her, but if it's not Triple H, I think it's Vince.
I think Vincent Doug's there too. I do think that.
Dude, is that the first time we see Vince back, or are they gonna ease us into it so that we're not
No, that's
shocked
the
when we
first
listen
time.
to him?
That's the first time we see him back. And I honestly don't even think that they announce it due to the
Ugh.
backlash. They don't want anything to happen beforehand.
But do they want the arena to steal the show? Either
I don't
either
think they
boo
will.
him
I
or
think I think that the Las Vegas crowd is the safe bet due to the fact of the amount of people. I mean, look, when we were there, how many people, there was not a single person that we talked to, at least, that was actually there that are from Vegas. Everybody came, from other places. I think that it's the safe bet because, and you look at, they were chanting for him when during Triple H's speech. So I do think that, in the minds of the people that are traveling to WrestleMania, um, Vince McMahon can do no wrong.
It's weird because it's like
And I'm not
whether
even gonna
whether
lie,
or
I
not
want to
he,
see it. So
whether or not I would want to see it too, strictly from like a wrestling perspective. But it's one of
hmm
those things where it's like it's hard for me at least to like separate shit. Like if I was there, it would be hard for me to give a standing ovation to the guy who made what I love so popular, but also did all those other things.
yeah.
So it's, but I get so with that being said, if it happens, it happens. I can't blame anyone for enjoying it or thinking that it's an appropriate pick to induct her. That's what I said was one of the two possibilities. So
If it's not her, then if it's not him, then it's Shane.
you think Shane would do it before Triple H?
I think Shane. Um, I just think that it. I honestly don't think that. Um, well, who inducted Triple H? Shawn Michaels.
I think Undertaker would
So
actually induct Stephanie before Triple H. Now that I'm thinking about it,
yeah, I don't think Triple H does it. In general, and I'm trying to think of who else who really has like that kind of relationship, at least like on screen with Stephanie McMahon. Stone Cold maybe, but the only other person I do think would be the Undertaker.
yeah. All right.
If not the
Well,
Undertaker, then John Cena because of the John Cena. I mean, we wouldn't have John Cena if it wasn't for Stephanie McMahon.
it's true.
And
John
if you
Cena
don't know
also
that story,
smacked her
Google
foot.
it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's get into our list of people that aren't in the Hall of Fame, but we think.
Class of 2026.
Sorry, my dog. I got my dog, my kid. This moving thing's nuts, dude. Half my kitchen's empty. That's bitching. Okay. Yes, class of 2026 or beyond. These people just need to be in the Hall of Fame. So, Miggy, I'll let you go first. Why don't you read me who you got? And I know
So,
your lists are usually like, chapters long. So, how
so
many are on
I
your honorable mentions?
I had a hard time putting this list together because I do like Stephanie McMahon being the main name. I'm thinking like I wanted to think that they were gonna do only women, right? But I don't think that is the case. I think Stephanie McMahon is the only woman inducted. Honorable mentions. If they were gonna do only women, I think that at least Mickey James and Victoria. I mean, listen, I think Victoria should have been in the Hall of Fame already over Michelle McCool. Or even Miss Elizabeth would be the perfect choice too. But in regards to who I think, the 2026 Hall of Fame, you want me just to go through the whole list first?
Let's do it.
So, I do think that the Hardys are in the Hall of Fame this year. I think that this relationship with TNA puts them there. I do think that we get Raven actually in the Hall of Fame this year.
Okay.
Raven before Sabu goes into the Hall of Fame, though. I'm surprised that yeah, I'm surprised by my thought process behind that. Um, I'm thinking for the moment, it's Hogan slamming Andre. This way, they have an excuse to talk about Hogan. Um,
I
and
mean, and
then
that's a deserving one.
yeah, I'm also thinking that William Regal is on that list. Um, and I do think that it would be fitting to put in China on her own, and then have Stephanie McMahon say some stuff about China, but I don't think that happens. I think that I think that we get somebody like Umaga,
Okay.
and then celebrity wise we get Cyndi Lauper.
There's a lot of good names that you said there, and I think with like with Raven, he's got that thing out right now. Cyndi Lauper's
Mhm.
finishing up a tour, and then she just announced today, actually. And I don't know why I know this. I don't like listen to a lot of Cyndi Lauper, but today she announced her very first Vegas residency.
Yeah.
So
Which
hello.
I think that will yeah.
These people plan this shit months in advance, so
And
I would say she probably already knows that she has a WWE commitment in April.
Um, is Bob Backlund in the Hall of Fame?
If he's not, it's a crime.
Yeah, if he's not, because I don't think he is. I don't know. Maybe he is.
Sorry, my notepad just went away. I had all of my picks written down. This is one of those things I'm going to have to edit. Okay.
He is. He is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
He
that
went
could
in
be.
with Bruno Sammartino, Mick Foley, and Donald Trump.
What a class.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. You know what? I can't do this. I can't do this. Okay. My picks, ladies and gentlemen. Where to go? I'm so sorry, buddy.
No,
I don't
you're good.
remember who I don't remember who it was. Da, 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 la, da, 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 da.
Ooh, I could see. Well, we'll hear your list too. I don't think this guy's gonna be on your list, but
Okay.
one just popped into my head.
So my list for who should go in the Hall of Fame this year, I'm going to start off with a controversial pick, and it's only controversial because of who else is already being inducted. But and you mentioned this, China as a solo talent, I think needs to go in. I don't know if he's still under contract with AEW, but I think Big Show needs to go in. I think that after this whole year and everything, I think it would be really cool if John Cena went in. And that was like the last
Yeah.
time that we saw him for a couple years. And then a guy who I've said needs to be on the Hall of Fame multiple times on this podcast, Charles Robinson, the referee, Lil
I would
Nate,
love that.
needs to go in the Hall of Fame. And then I threw in another one because he was never someone that we really saw in the ring or on TV at all. But the music alone, Jim Johnston,
Oh, that's a good pick.
no, nothing has been the same. Even Jimmy Hart couldn't write those the same licks that he was doing. So I would really like to see Jim Johnson and Charles Robinson in there. I know that China's probably not going to get in, especially the same year that Stephanie's getting in. I think John Cena would be a safe bet, and I think Big Show's got to go in at some point.
You you don't think that John Cena would be a first ballot on his own? You think that they would let him replace Stephanie?
Oh no, I'm sorry, I meant that about China. I'm saying I don't think
Oh, China.
China goes in the same year
Oh,
Stephanie does.
okay.
That would be hella awkward.
Yeah.
But just because, and it wouldn't be awkward because anyone would make it awkward. I feel like it would just be kind of be pretty easy to make memes and shit like that.
Oh, 100%.
So, but
I
yeah,
stole
that's who
your
I
man
got.
and your first ballot spot.
You know, you know. Who do you think would well, I was gonna say Stephanie probably. I was gonna say who would be more of a headliner, Stephanie or China? If China was still alive, I would say China. Just because
Probably. If China was still alive, I honestly see her working in AEW
as a commentator or something,
as
huh?
something.
Dude, that would be so sick. God, she was so good, dude. Her thing
Yeah.
with Eddie and how they're basically just copying it now with Liv and Dom is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, she, I remember when I was a kid, it's so crazy to that what I'm about to say, especially considering what people say nowadays. But I remember people would make fun of her because they would say that she's like a man, and
Yeah.
it's like
Well, don't treat her like a woman. Don't treat her like a
don't treat her
man.
like a man.
Yeah.
What came after that? I forgot.
um,
Treat me like the badass that I
yeah.
know I am.
Spend one night in China.
But let's go over your picks real quick and tell me. Can you tell me a little bit about Raven? I mean, I know Raven, but that's somebody who in the 90s had such a huge presence in pretty much all
He
three
worked
major
everywhere.
companies.
He worked everywhere. He's
ECW.
another guy, and I was thinking. So before I get to Raven, I did have two, and I had two more other ideas that I also wouldn't be surprised if Billy Kidman who also is another guy that worked everywhere and has worked at WWE forever. And I wouldn't be surprised if they threw in like La Parca or somebody like that from
Ooh.
AAA just to boost that too. But a man that has worked everywhere that we won't see in the Hall of Fame this year despite everything is Chris Jericho. Which I almost replaced Raven with Chris Jericho, but I was thinking, Raven's got this big year. He's got a whole documentary talking about his life, his coming back, his addictions. But he is one of those original ECW guys that went over to WCW that actually had somewhat success in WWE that unfortunately due to his, demons, that's what, cost him his entire career over there. But he
Let me ask you this about Raven, because this just popped up into my head, and you can, tell me I'm wrong or whatever. But would you say that he was like the '90s version of Bray Wyatt?
ooh, to some extent, I do think he had that aura, that presence. Maybe not like more of like the supernatural aspect, but definitely like a dark presence kind of character. He was a character.
Yeah, he
Um,
was, he might be better as off compared to like a Killer Cross or something. But Killer
yeah,
Cross or Karrion Cross in WWE never had the matches or the story to back up what his character was capable of. Whereas Raven was pretty much all character. I mean, the whole Tommy Dreamer thing, how long did it take Tommy Dreamer to beat him? Like
a
over a
while.
year or something like
Yeah.
that? Or no, I don't think Tommy Dreamer ever beat him until ECW had almost closed.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I just know that that was like the biggest. I don't know. I do think that was the biggest feud for Tommy Dreamer and ECW.
Oh yeah, 100%. Um, who else was on your list? You had Raven, and who else?
Yeah, but and looking at Raven though too, I mean, um, he had he won multiple tag team championships in ECW. He was the ECW champion, I believe. Yeah, twice ECW champion, I think, and then I'm pretty sure he holds the record for most, or he's up there, probably I don't know, probably with R-Truth or Mick Foley with like the most hardcore championship wins.
Right.
Probably Crash Holly is up there too. So yeah, I just think, and he had a big stable in WCW too. He had the Flock.
Dude, yeah. He's always
Um,
quoting or not quoting Edgar Allan Poe, but the whole Nevermore thing. And
yeah. But then you have you're asking me about who else was on my list. I think we talked Cyndi Lauper, and that just like lines up. The Hardys, I do think that this will be their opportunity for the Hardys to go in to the WWE Hall of Fame. I don't think that the Hardys ever actually come back to the WWE like under contract. I mean, I wouldn't be, and we're releasing this tomorrow morning, so I do think that the Hardys are going to be a big presence in NXT still with this TNA partnership, but I don't see them ever coming back to WWE. So I think that this is going to be, that partnership is going to help them be on WWE TV enough for people to be like, oh, okay, I just saw the Hardys in NXT and now they're putting him in, the Hall of Fame. William Regal, the same thing. William Regal, we're seeing him more and more on WWE TV. We're seeing him on WWE social. I think that especially with Triple H in his speech last year saying how influential William Regal was to him, and William Regal rightfully so deserves it. I mean, as much as the man has done backstage everywhere, um, another one of those guys, much like Raven, wrestled literally everywhere: ECW, WCW, WWE, Japan. I don't think he ever was in TNA, but
if you want to
I
watch a
could be.
good William Regal match, I've mentioned it a couple times.
Him and
Uh,
Goldust gender swap match.
well, I mean, that obviously that
Yeah.
was the obvious pick, but I was going to go for the number two. I was going to say uncensored 1996. It's a WCW pay-per-view. Get it while you can, because who knows how much longer we're gonna be able to watch that shit.
Yeah.
But William Regal versus Fit
I
Finlay.
was gonna say any William Regal and Fit Finley match is the one to watch.
In this uncensored match, it was a I don't know if it was no DQ or a street fight. I can't remember, but at one point, I think it's Finley's nose. Finley's nose breaks in the middle of the match just because they're just laying it in so much, and it's a great watch. So uncensored
That
'96,
and that's
Regal
another
and
name
Finley.
too that, I honestly, with how much Fit Finley has done in the WWE, how much he's done for the women's division, I wouldn't be surprised, like, in the next 2 or 3 years. I don't think he gets in this year, but next 2 or 3 years they put Fit Finley in. And I think he for sure at least gets a mention from Stephanie.
Dude. Well, and knowing that it's Stephanie and you could have the Hardys and they just uh I'm just wondering if the Hall of Fame, especially because it's something they sell tickets to,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're keeping the Hall of Fame classes limited to people who the modern fan base would know. Which sounds crazy because it's a Hall of Fame, but everyone knows Stephanie McMahon, everyone knows John Cena, and everyone knows the Hardys. And then if you have a celebrity like Cyndi Lauper, well, all the kids' moms and grandmas are going to know who that is.
Well, I
And
mean, they
then,
didn't have in the 2025, I don't know. I guess, yeah, maybe Michelle McCool has been in WWE a lot more lately. Triple H, obviously. They just did the whole thing with the natural disasters. Um,
like, are they throwing mid card random? And I don't want to say random, like, no disrespect to everyone who we're talking about, but are they throwing like random mid card guys in the Hall of Fame at this point?
well, not not mid card, but they have that legacy wing where they put in Kamala and Ivan Koloff, which Kamala should have. I mean, I don't know. Kamala should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago.
Yeah, there's there's a couple people, but
Yeah,
all right, buddy, we're running out of time. Any last words?
Kevin Nash is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Is
Oh, we
NWO
talked to him
and
about that. Yeah, he said he's like, all my friends are in there now. I'm good.
wait, so
Um,
he's in it solo or he isn't? And
he's in it
is
as
he in it
he's
as
in it
Kevin
as
Nash or
Diesel,
Diesel?
as Diesel.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even
Oh,
though
and then
he's
they as
lost.
the NWO.
Now is Kevin Nash best as Diesel or Kevin Nash?
No, that's Kevin Nash.
Just give him a big ass contract, let him fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Good, congrats on him though for that stem cell knee surgery. I see his
Yeah.
Instagram posts. All right.
He is a good
Well,
follow
ladies
on
and
Instagram.
gentlemen, that he's a very good follow.
And on
Um,
Twitter. He's I don't know. I like him just calling people out.
he's yeah, he's a good. I wish they put him on commentary. That'd be something. But all right, everyone. That's it for today's show. Catch
He's
us.
too tall. Everybody in the front row won't be able to see over him.
Yeah, you would have a real problem with that.
Yeah. Sitting down, that man was taller than I was.
All right, everyone. We will catch you on the next episode. Don't forget to follow us, TikTok, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will be ring announcing next couple weeks back at VWC Ignite Monster Mania on the 18th, and then I will be
What
at Hell of a Night.
is and
Yes,
the Halloween is wrestling, right?
he is. So is some other spooky dude
Yeah, I
with
don't
a
know.
six six
Halloween is
six in his name. Oh no,
Bestia, yeah, Bestia 666.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. Hell of a Night. That's Dream Slam, and that is on the
Dream Slam, yeah.
25th back in Anaheim. So
Yeah.
I'll be there. All right, everyone. See you on the other side. Take it easy.
Later.